So whether you feel lost, whether you feel like your adventure has gotten misguided, or whether you really feel like you have a great and noble cause, I invite you to see the way that God's writing you into the story of Blessed Sacrament, and to put your talents and experiences at the service of others. My name is Guy Davis. I've been a parishioner here at Blessed Sacrament for 4 years, and I was invited to speak a little bit about what God's been saying to me in prayer. And the thing I've been reflecting on recently is God as the author of life. So the words that came to me regarding this is that God does not waste ink. I'm a big reader. I like to read Lord of the Rings. It's my favorite trilogy. And one thing you realize reading Lord of the Rings is that every adventure contains a lot more wandering around in the wilderness and complaining about not having breakfast than you might think. And that's kind of how my story has been. So I was not raised Catholic, but I went to a Catholic school for the better educational opportunities. And I had a religion teacher my freshman year that really just took me under her wing and taught me about the faith. So I decided to join the RCIA program, and I was baptized, confirmed, and received into the church when I was 16 years old. I went to college. I wanted to make a change in the world. I wanted to make the world a better place. So I decided to be a political science major. And about my senior year, I came to the realization that politics might not be the best way to make the world a better place. Don't want to offend any politicians that might be listening. But I still wanted to make the world a better place. So I got into campus ministry after I graduated from college, full-time Catholic campus ministry. And that's where I learned how to walk with young people as they come to know Jesus and come to make him their Lord and Savior. And that was a great, awesome opportunity. And I came to know the Lord on a more personal level. I also met my wife, and we had to decide whether to raise our family in Columbus, Ohio, where I was working, or here in Wichita. It was actually this parish community that was one of the major deciding factors on where we decided to live. And I had to choose between the ministry and the girl, and I'm here. So the decision was clear. When I got to Wichita, my first job was working as a religion teacher at St. Thomas Aquinas, and I loved teaching lessons to the students. I hated answering my emails and keeping my classroom clean, so that experiment lasted for a year. And I am now an electrician's apprentice, and I love my job. Now, if that sounds like a bunch of random experiences, that's kind of how I felt. But Anne invited me to come to the stewardship fair one day, and stewardship was one of the big reasons that we decided to live here in Wichita. So I said, sure, I'll go. I didn't really know what I had to offer. But I decided to stop at the RCIA table because that's where this crazy adventure all got started for me. And they said that they needed sponsors. And I said, well, that's perfect. I know how to walk with young people as they come to know Jesus and make him Lord of their lives. And after a year of being a sponsor, they invited me to be a catechist. And I was like, well, that's perfect. I love teaching lessons, teaching people about Jesus, and Sonia will handle all the emails, so I don't have to. And even being an electrician, the first guy that I sponsored was a carpenter, and the second guy that I am currently sponsoring owns his own concrete company. So all these different threads were playing into the same story. And I still want to make the world a better place, so I wanted to invite anyone that's listening to this to consider the way that the Lord is writing a story in their lives. The different experiences that you have, the different trials that you've overcome can all be a blessing, can all be a witness to somebody, and I'm just convinced that God does not waste ink.